What motivated me was the horrific death of the little girl named Danielle, about the same age as my child, who had been brutally murdered by her own father. I cried into the middle of the night. I think people just weren't aware of how commonplace and how horrific child abuse was. I didn't know about it. Children are not valued. There was a hotline, a 24-hour hotline for dogs, but there wasn't a 24-hour hotline for children. And I committed at that time to do something. I was walking into volunteer one day, and a big burly cop was holding a baby, and from her neck up she was red. And the cop was crying his eyes out, and holding her at the same time. The mother had stuck her head in boiling water and lied. And the cop just couldn't stand it. Who's got a camera? Because we knew that child in that case was going to go before a judge in 48 hours, and the child would start to heal, and the judge might send her home. So I went out to a camera store and said I was a volunteer and I needed a Polaroid camera right then and there. And we eventually got all the police officers' cameras for their patrol cars. Back in the 60s, a governor mandated every county in the state of California is going to have an emergency shelter for kids, abused kids. As a volunteer there, I saw it was woefully inadequate. It was like a Romanian orphanage. It was built in the 60s for 16 children, and there were normally 80 cramped inside. So there'd be a dozen cribs in the hall or in one room, and if one baby woke up, all of them woke up. If one baby had a cold, all 18 had a cold. And I never left without crying, never. The separation of siblings, when children are taken away from their parents because of abuse, all they have is each other. And the old facility was so small and so inadequate that children were always separated. One particular time there were two little boys, and one little boy saw his brother at the other side of the building, and he slammed his body against the gate, screaming and crying. You don't forget something like that.
Promises to Kids was started over 30 years ago to raise awareness about the issue, to talk to people, say there is child abuse going on and we can do something to stop it. We have over 70,000 phone calls that are made to the child abuse hotline each year. And unfortunately, there's so many more that are just sitting there, not being reported. We come into their lives at the point in which they first come into foster care at the Polinsky Children's Center, which is an emergency shelter that serves over 2,000 children each year, looking for refuge, looking for support from abuse. We support them. We say there's somebody who knows about your situation, somebody who cares. We're there to help them.
At Polinsky, the kids can stay, the programs can exist, the services are there, and a child can begin to heal.
We also support them through a variety of programs throughout their life in care, one of which is our Camp Connect program, really reaching out to siblings who, for whatever reason, are not placed together in care. We provide camp and other opportunities for them to have a great time with their siblings, to forge that bond. Currently, we provide support to the 5,000 children in foster care. Less than 50% of children who leave foster care even have a high school diploma. Nationally, 1 in every 3 foster children, when they turn 18, within 1 year will be homeless. Another 26% of those youth are going to be applying for and receiving public assistance, all because they haven't been prepared or supported through this transition. Promises to Kids and its Guardian Scholars program has beat those odds. We're there from the minute they come into Polinsky Children's Center all the way through to adulthood. We're there, and we don't give up. My favorite program is the Guardian Scholars Program, which intervenes at a point in a child's life to really tell them, you can do it. We'll provide you with the tools that you need to find an education, to make your own path in life, and to ultimately break the cycle of child abuse for their own families.
At the time, I did not know I was applying to a family. I did not know I was applying to people that actually cared. And it's just that push, it's that question, it's that hug, it's that phone call, you know, it's that email, you know, that it's like, hey, it's your birthday, happy birthday. Hey, I'm in your neighborhood. What are you doing? Are you off today? It's good lunch. It's love.
I didn't have many family members at my college graduation, but when I looked in the stands, and it was just like a really big moment for me, I saw all of the staff of Promises2Kids, you know, they're crying and cheering me on. I can't express how, you know, appreciative I am to that. Even now, I look back at the pictures of, you know, me graduating from college, which just saying those words, I graduated from college. I could not have done it without their support.
It's awe-inspiring to see a child change before your very eyes. Very often a child will go towards the good, even if all they've known is evil in their life. If there's a positive role model who can show them what life could be, a child will often go that way. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.